I've noticed that whenever I tell someone they should watch an older film, a foreign film, or something that's not on the Netflix homepage, they look at me like I've asked them to do homework. We've gotten so used to letting algorithms decide our tastes that choosing something unfamiliar feels like an inconvenience. And honestly, that's exactly why our movie diets have gotten so thin. We're trapped in a loop of the next big release, the trending title, the same franchise installment, the endless wave of content designed to be consumed but never remembered. When we do have a spare moment, half of us end up flicking through short, loud, forgettable clips because they require nothing from us. Not attention, not patience, not curiosity. Yet these habits quickly rob us of something vital, the chance to discover beauty in places we never think to look. When you break out of that loop, when you watch something that completely clashes with your usual taste, you start to see film differently. You begin to understand what you actually value in a movie instead of what you've been conditioned to click on. I've learned more about why I love my favorite films by watching ones I wasn't sure I'd like at all. A slow, nearly silent drama showed me why I'm drawn to strong visual storytelling. An experimental film taught me that there are entirely different avenues for building a narrative, ways of shaping emotion, theme, or structure that don't rely on traditional plot at all. Even a movie I ended up disliking helped me articulate what I like in a story. For example, I personally do not like rom-coms. I've always thought they were cheap films with no style or substance that are simply chopped together stories that are all the same except for the jokes. And while I still believe this to be the case, I have nevertheless taken the time to watch through a handful of rom-coms so I can better articulate what it is I don't enjoy instead of making claims without any first-hand experiences with the genre. You won't get this kind of understanding when you stay in the same lane, scrolling through endless thumbnails until the algorithm slaps something recommended in front of you. But it's not only about learning why you like what you like, it's about discovering the beauty you've been missing. There's a whole world of cinema that doesn't rely on jump cuts, nostalgia references, or the dopamine hit of constant stimulation. There are films that move slowly because they want you to sit with the feeling. There are movies that confuse you on purpose, inviting you to think rather than react. There are stories from other countries that show the world through completely different eyes. There's animation that isn't meant for children, horror that isn't about scares, and romance that isn't about predictability. None of this fits into a trending category, which is exactly why it's worth seeking out. The biggest barrier is that we've been trained to think that unfamiliar means unapproachable. People say things like, "I won't get it," or "it's not my thing," before they even hit play. But that mindset is exactly what keeps us from growing. Not every film you watch has to become your new favorite. The point is to stretch yourself, to give something outside your taste a chance to surprise you. Try a recommendation from a friend whose taste is nothing like yours. Try a classic that you've heard referenced but have never actually seen. Pick a movie from a country you've never explored. You don't have to understand everything on the first watch. The willingness to explore is already the victory. And here's the truth we don't like to admit. The more we rely on what's new, the less we actually appreciate what we watch. Films blur together, stories feel repetitive, styles get stale. When you stop chasing novelty and start chasing contrast, your entire experience of film expands. You begin to recognize how different traditions influence each other, how certain genres evolve, and how many ways there are to tell a story. you start watching movies with intention instead of habit. In the end, expanding your taste isn't about becoming a film snob or abandoning the stuff you genuinely enjoy. It's about refusing to let the norm, algorithms, hype cycles, and mindless scrolling decide what you're allowed to love. Choose the film that scares you a little, the one that looks nothing like your usual picks. You might not love it, but you'll learn something from it. And sooner or later, it will lead you to a kind of cinematic beauty that you never would have found by staying comfortable. So the next time you sit down to watch something, don't ask, what's new? Ask instead, what's different from anything I've seen before?